Simplify each sum. Here you're given two polynomials and you're asked to add them together. Now each one of these is a trinomial. It has three terms, but we can easily do this with a polynomial of an arbitrary size. So it really doesn't matter how many terms there are. The technique that you're going to use is this. Start with whatever the first term in the first polynomial is, 7n. And what we want to look for is we want to look for what's called a like term. Anything that has the exact same variable with the exact same exponent. So here it's just n to the first. So we have our 7n. Let's look for anything else that's n to the first. And there's one right there. And then all we have to do is follow the instructions. 7n plus 2n. And since these are like terms, when we add them together, all we have to do is add the coefficients, the numbers out front. So we say 7n plus 2n would be 9n. And now I've taken care of this term and this term. I don't need them any longer. So I move on to my next term. Plus 2, no variable. So I look for anything else that doesn't have a variable. And there it is. And so I follow the directions. Positive 2 plus positive 8 is going to be positive 10. So I'll say plus 10, and now I've used these terms. So I can mark them out, seeing that I don't have to use them again. Next up we have n squared. So I look for any other n squareds. There's one. But notice this has a subtraction sign in front of it. So what I can do is I can consider this to be negative. So I can take 8n squared plus negative 4n squared. When we add a negative, that's the same as subtracting. So this is essentially 8 minus 4. So this is going to be plus 4n squared. So again, 8 plus negative 4 is positive 4. Now I've used those two terms and I don't have any terms left to add. So my polynomial would be 9n plus 10 plus 4n squared. However, it's much better to write this in standard form. Pretty much anytime you have a polynomial, you want to write it in standard form. So I look for the biggest exponent. Here it is with the n squared. And so my final answer will be 4n squared. My next biggest exponent is the 9n plus 10. And that right there is going to be my answer. I added up all the like terms and then put it in standard form. So let's do that again for number 4 so we can make sure we've got the hang of this. I look at my first term, it's x cubed, x raised to the third power. So I look for any other x cubed. There's one, and that's it, it's just those two. So I would say 5x cubed plus 6x cubed would give me 11x cubed. I can mark those out because I've used them. Now next we have plus 8x squared. So I'm going to look for any other x squared terms. And I don't have any. So I just take that term and copy it down as is. Now I've used that. Next up I have this minus 4 with no variable. So I look for anything else that doesn't have a variable. There's one. So I would take negative 4 plus negative 6, and that would be negative 10. So I'll say minus 10. These two have been used. Now I look for anything that's not been used yet. Here we have this positive 6x, and it's plus positive 6x, so I can just say plus 6x. Now I've used up all my terms. I need to rewrite this in standard form. Largest exponent is 3, then 2, but I need to switch the order of those two. So my final answer would be 11x cubed plus 8x squared plus 6x minus 10. And that will be the final answer.